What's up, everybody? So happy Friday. Thanks for coming on and checking this out. Apologies. Tried to get on live like usual tried it on two different computers, and YouTube just was not letting it upload. It wouldn't go live. It was sort of something that was going live and then wouldn't. So apologies for that. So we're going to try this a different way, and I'm just going to record it and upload it, and hopefully I can do this in one take because it's always kind of weird recording. But anyway, so we won't have the live chat, but obviously we'll have the comments underneath. So leave me some comments. Just let me know who's watching, and let me know what you're thankful for today. I'm thankful. I just got home a little bit ago, and Luke had cut the grass, and that was really awesome and big help. So really thankful for him doing that, and just kind of thankful for the weekend. So anyway, all right. So quarter team games. We had two questions last time. We talked about Jericho with Rahab. So one question was, what was the elevation of Jericho? It is below sea level. It is 846 feet below sea level. Luke was the closest guess on that one. He guessed -10. He thought it was below sea level, and so he had the lowest guess, so that put him closest. So one quarter for Luke. Second quarter on the line had a question, which Star Wars movie did I see with my friend Ben at midnight on opening night? Fun fact, Miss Julie actually came with me to that. It was episode 1. So Beth and Nathan had each guessed episode 1, so they each get a quarter. So congrats to them. For those of you that guessed Return of the Jedi, I appreciate the guess. I was like 3 when that came out, so that was definitely not it, but I appreciate the effort anyway. So anyway, all right, today's question. Sunday starts Shark Week on TV, so I thought it might be fun to kind of have a question with that. So for today's question, how many teeth does a great white shark have? There's your quarter on the line today. How many teeth does a great white shark have? So there's your question. So anyway, all right, let's get into our devotion about Deborah for today, all right? So we find our story about Deborah in the book of Judges. Story is in chapter 4. There is a song by Deborah in chapter 5. It's a little bit like Moses and Miriam, like after they crossed the Red Sea, sang that song of praise to God. Deborah sings a song of praise to God after the victory in chapter 4. So hopefully you're familiar with the story of Deborah. There in chapter 4, we're in the book of Judges. There's this cycle and spiral of sin in Judges, right? So a judge had been leading, things were good, he died, things got bad again. The people fell back into their sin. Chapter 4, verse 1 talks about how the people of Israel again did what was evil in the sight of the Lord. They fell back into their old habits and back into their sins. It also describes that at that time, so what happened because of that was God, again, allowed a neighboring country to come and invade the area and sort of put the Israelites under their thumb, so to speak, and harass them and things like that. So that had been going on for like 20 years. Deborah was judging Israel at that time. She would sit under this palm tree between Ramah and Bethel, and the people would come to her seeking wisdom, seeking advice, seeking help. She summons this guy named Barak to come and says, look, God has told you that you're supposed to lead the people of Israel into battle. And he's like, okay, yeah, I'm kind of nervous about it. It seems to be the sense that we get from him. And he says, look, I'll go if you'll come with me. So I guess there's some reluctance there. She says, fine, I'll come with you, but you need to know that you're not going to be the one getting the glory out of this. You're not going to be the one getting the honor. That's going to go to a woman. Okay, so they go into battle. I guess really he goes into battle. He's the general. He's the leader. She does go with him. And things are going very well in the battle against a large army. And the opposing general named Sisera flees the battle scene and comes to the home of a woman named Jael, who he thought was an ally of his. She says, come on in, I'll hide you here, gives him some warm milk, and he falls asleep. And if you know the story, you know the next part. It's crazy. She takes a tent peg, big, long stone or iron tent peg, and drives it through his temple into the ground and kills him. Barak continues the battle, and they completely annihilate the enemy, and God gives them the victory. So there's your story, and then what happens after that is really cool. And I really want to get some truth out of the song too, and give there's some really great content in there as well beyond just the story. So I want to read a couple of verses from the song for us. I'm going to read, this is Judges 5. I'm going to read 1 and 2, and then verse 9 as well. So it says, then sang Deborah and Barak, the son of Abinoam, on that day, that the leaders took the lead in Israel, that the people offered themselves willingly, bless the Lord. And then down in verse 9, it says, my heart goes out to the commanders of Israel who offered themselves willingly among the people. Bless the Lord. So I love how Deborah, first of all, just turns her heart to God and sings her praises to him. But I think it's really cool how, she gives credit to God first, but she's also giving credit to the other leaders. Like she's giving them the shout out and recognition for their part in the victory. And I think there's a couple of lessons that we can see there, that it's not really about who gets the credit. It's just about getting the job done. Deborah knew, look, we've got things to do, and so let's go do them. And in the end, it wasn't about who had done what. She was just glad that the job had gotten done, that she was going to obey God. She was going to do what she knew she needed to do, and it wasn't about who was getting the credit. I think we can also be like Deborah in the sense that we ought to be people who give credit and give recognition to others, like recognize the work and the accomplishment of other people. Be someone who recognizes other people. Deborah did that, and I think that's a great example, and we ought to be that type of person who builds one another up, who lifts others up. When somebody else does something good, let them know that you're thankful for that and give them honor for that. I also see in this, like, look, we have all got a role to play. And so let's be content in our role. Deborah had a role. Barak had a role. Jael had a role. None of them were fighting for one another's roles. They each did their job, and God got the victory, and God got the ultimate credit. But everybody did their part. Let's not be people who fight about, I want this job, I want to do this, I want all the credit for this. Let's just do our part and let God take care of the rest. Deborah's a great example of that as well. I look back to we can get a couple of lessons from the story itself too. I see the fact that the nation of Israel was not following God, but Deborah was. So I think she's a great example that we need to trust and follow God even when the people around us are not. When the people around us choose to pursue evil, we're going to choose to pursue Christ. Now, I hope that we're people who are choosing to be around people that want to be like Jesus, that we're choosing good, solid, wise people to spend our time with. But even when the people around us, even when the world around us are running away from God, we need to be people who are running toward God, especially in this day and age and in this time where it's harder to be together. Let's pursue Christ together. I see in Deborah that people recognized her for her wisdom, and they sought her out for advice and for wisdom and for help. Let's be the kind of people that other people want to come to for help and for wisdom. Let's be good listeners. I think we can be like Deborah like that, and I think that's a good thing. And the last thing, and I think in a way this sort of sums up everything else to me about Deborah. Sisera was like, I'll go if you go. She could have been like, you're a wimp. Or she could have been, fine, I'll lead the army if you don't want to. She didn't do that. She said, okay, fine, I'll go with you. She knew the job needed to be done, and she sort of helped give some strength to Sisera to do what needed to be done. Deborah was an encourager. Who are people around you that maybe you're doubting, having struggles with faith in God, or doing, obeying God, or doing what needs to be done? You can be like Deborah, and your faith can help strengthen the faith of other people. You can give strength and encouragement and inspiration and help and faith to other people like Deborah did. So that's it for today. Let me know what you think about our Great White Shark question. Next time on Monday, Lord willing, we'll be able to go live and we will talk about Ruth. So sorry for the confusion today. Hope you guys enjoy this and enjoy your weekend. I love you. We'll see you on Monday.